Hi everyone, it's Justina here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me for this little crafty session. So I've been meaning to show you for a while how I did my layered up tag that I did it for the Shades of Winter journal. But I really liked the idea and I wanted to use it again in a different, like a different theme, just to show that it is versatile enough. So basically, if you didn't see those videos, it was a tag that I made which had wallpaper scraps and layered up organzas and fussy cuts and different things like that to make actually what turned out to be a really beautiful tag. So I wanted to give it a go with a new kit that I'm working with. So I've got these cut down from some pages from a kit that I'm working with that's from, I believe it's called Marie's Paper Lab. I will link the kit down below because you'll be seeing this one a few times because if all goes well, I'm hoping that I'll be using this kit in a journal that I'm going to do for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So I won't say any more just yet, but just, keep your eyes peeled because, I'm starting to, to figure out what it is that I'm going to do for it. Okay, so the idea for this is you want tags where you like the background, but there isn't really any kind of a focal image. So here, although we've got this beautiful flower and all this beautiful sort of collagey text in the background, that's that's it. There's not really sort of anything specifically to look at. And likewise with this one, it's a beautiful background with all it's probably not picking it up very well, but there's like deep purple splodges, splatter inks and some scripty text in the background. But again, it's missing its focal point, so we want to give it something. What I will say, because we're going to be using fabrics in these, in this case journal cards, but you could do this with tags or really anything. If you're going to write on the back of it, then you need something that's going to be strong and sturdy on the back so that you're not going to feel the fabric when you're writing. So I've got the kit printed onto presentation paper, and then I've backed it with some actually very thick cardstock. So this is scrapbook paper. It just comes from a cheapy kit from the works here in the UK, but it's really, really thick, so you're not going to feel the fabric when you're writing. Okay, so I'm going to go with some scraps of, in this case, wallpaper, but you could use any kind of a scrap. But you want something that's quite pretty to look at in the background, I think. So I'm just trying to decide where best to rip down. And you want to give it a really torn edge for it to be, we want these to look scrappy and collagey, but yeah, you want to give it a really pretty torn edge. So we can have this going down there, and I'm going to do the same for the other one. And you're basically just layering stuff up, but I wanted to, I'm using different papers from when I was doing the winter journal, but yeah, I just wanted to give it a go just to see if the idea works across many different mediums really, because once you've got a formula down for something, you can keep, you don't have to keep doing the same thing, but you might like to try it again. So I've got the scrap of wallpaper, and I'm just going to check. So I'm going to put these frames over the top. Yeah, I think size-wise they're perfect. So I think I'm just going to get them stuck down because that's our base layer. I am going to ink, but you absolutely don't have to. It's not, and I'm only inking very lightly because they are background papers. But honestly, any paper, any pretty paper that you've got that you like, have that as your base layer. So I'm just going to glue that straight down onto my journal card. Okay. Again, I'm sorry if I'm not talking as much as normal. My throat is still a little bit sore, so I'm just I'm doing some short, quick projects really, just to get me back into it because, it's been a little while, and you know, I've missed you guys. I've missed being here crafting with you and all of that. So I just kind of wanted to do a few bits just to get me back into it, really. Struggling where to put things. There we go. Okay, so we've got our, in this case, wallpaper. And now I'm going to, so I've got this organza bag. These were sent to me by my stepmom. And you know, they're too small necessarily for anything that I would use. So I actually like to use the fabric because it's a cheap way to get this type of organza material, and you know, use what you've got in your house, right? So I'm just going to cut off this top. I don't want that. I basically just want 2 pieces of this. So I think this is like an ivory kind of a colour, by the looks of it. So I'm basically just cutting off the sides so that we're just left with some organza material that we can use. And I want 2 strips of it, I think, because we're just going to pop that down. Because we basically want to get little peeks of it out from behind this frame that we're going to put in. So it tones down that wallpaper ever so slightly and gives you, in this case, a little bit of a sparkle, or yeah, just basically a little bit of a sparkle, really. Hoping the camera is picking it up enough. If not, you're just going to have to give it a go and see what you think in person. Okay, so just like that, I think. So get rid of those. So I'm not ready for that yet. And then I've also got this sparkly ribbon, which again, you've seen me use a lot, haven't you? I'm coming to the end of this one now, but it's done me so many projects. And I've really loved using it, so I'm absolutely going to get another roll of this because for me it's just worked with so many different projects, and I love a bit of sparkle. So if anything, you will see lots of sparkle in my videos. Okay, so again, I'm just getting a couple of strips of that just to layer up behind. I'm wondering whether to put it behind the organza so that it's toned down a little bit. Don't want sparkle overload. So if I put that there. Now really you could do this with any material. It doesn't have to be organza or sparkly. I like to use this because it's see-through, so you're not covering up anything beneath that, like the images behind, like the wallpaper behind it. You're not covering it up, you're just toning down what you've got, really. That's kind of why I like to use it. And as you can see, I'm not being too precious about where I'm getting this material. I'm just plonking it down, and then I can see when I've got the frame on the top how we look. So let me just move those out of the way. Right. So I want this, oops, excuse me. So I want this frame for this one, and I want this frame for this one. See those okay? I know it's not really going to show up as nicely, but you know. So let's work one at a time. So we want to get some glue on the back of our frame, and we're basically just going to trap those mesh layers, I suppose, underneath it. So if I get some glue all the way around this, because we want this completely stuck down. I think I'm going to go over it with my beacon actually, which is like Fabri-Tac, because we are getting those meshy layers. So if I just attempt to get the lid off. As I say, I've not crafted in a little while, so I think all my glues are the same old story, isn't it? I'm always complaining about glue problems. Okay. So I think we want to go this way. So basically I'm just going to grab some of this organza, and I'm basically just positioning it behind, so you're not getting the whole piece, you're just getting a little hint of it popping out. And again, I'm trying not to be too precious about where I'm getting it, but I just want little peaks coming out. Oops, without getting glue on my fingers too much. Okay, and down here. And as you can see, little scraps, they go a long way, because before I know it, I'm going to have this whole piece, you know, this is going to have enough behind it, really. Okay, let's see how we feel about this type of a thing. I think I want a little bit more sparkle, so I'm going to bring in some more of this sparkliness. Ooh, using my wrong scissors. Just want a little piece up here, I think. I think I'm going to pop it behind this one. Just there. Need a bit more glue, I think, bear with me. And really it's just a case of layering up the things until, you know, you're happy with how it looks. And, you know, really don't be precious about it, because as you can see, it's incredibly scrappy. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim. I've got some like, oh, this is going to be really hard to show you, but I've got some sort of pointy edges coming out, and I basically just want to smooth them out, because, you know, we've got this nice oval in the middle, so we just want to trim those down just a bit to give it a softer edge. Okay, and here as well. Okay, what do you think to that? Yeah, I'm going to go for it. So then just want a bit more glue. So how have you all been doing? It feels like an absolute age since I've been here chatting away. Some of the videos you've seen this week, you know, they're videos that I already had pre-recorded. Yeah, I had them pre-recorded, so I didn't have to talk very much. Well, I've barely spoken at all this week, so I'm sorry if my voice is a bit rusty. Okay. I think so. So for this one, I wanted this bird, I think. And I'm wondering, I might want a little bit less wallpaper. Not sure about this part down here. What do we think? Let me just tear that off a sec. Okay. I think I will think about something for down there. It might be that I want a butterfly or something. Maybe. Just to give that, again, I want a softer edge to it, really. And as I say, you can use any papers, any fabrics, just anything that you like the look of. And before you know it, it very quickly, you know, becomes something. I actually quite like those butterflies, so I'm going to keep those there for a second. Because my original plan was I was going to have, I was going to put words and or labels, but I might go with the butterflies instead. We will see. Okay. So again, just going to layer this over. As I say, we don't want to be too precious about it. We're just popping them down and then see how it turns out. And we can trim, we can add, we can just layer things up, really. I hope this isn't too difficult to see. on camera. I'm going to again add a little bit more of this gold sparkle. I don't mind everything sparkling, that's very me. Don't know if I've told you this, I probably have at some point, but you know. My nickname used to be Magpie, because it was very much the case of I'd be, you know, I'd see something shiny and I would, you know, be looking for the shiny. And I've heard that magpies do that. They hunt for shiny objects or something. I don't know if that's a myth or if that's, you know, proven, but hey ho. Okay, so there we go. So we've got our scrappy bits. So again, I just want to cut them a bit nicer. So we've got, you know, we haven't got random pointy edges or harshness. Again, we want that to be quite soft. So I'm just basically following my oval around. Okay. Okay, and pop that down. Might need a little bit more glue. Let's just see. Okay. And then for this one, so this one has a hole at the top of that frame, so I wanted to add this flower, which I'm trying to decide whether to go opposite side of the wallpaper or the same side. I think possibly the same side. Not sure, maybe I should have put the wallpaper here. Shall we see what that's like with just a little piece that I've got? Just wondering if we maybe need some more wallpaper on this one. If that's too much. Just slipping it in. Oh, I've got it stuck. There we go. Maneuver around that petal. No, maybe what about down here? Yeah, I'm thinking I maybe should have done the wallpaper on the other side so that it's not quite so heavy on that side, which means I may have to move my flower. But I like the flower on this side. Move it down. No? Move it up. I'm just going to see how butterflies would look on this one. And I had this label. I'm very happy with the bird one. Sorry about that. I think the flower was throwing me off because I absolutely love this one with the bird. So I thought I would go and have a look through my birds and just see if I could find something else that would work. So I've got these, so this one's done. I've stuck those down whilst I had you on pause. So if I just bring you up, can you see all those pretty layers? And really they're just little scraps and pieces of things, but obviously we've layered them up into something that's really quite pretty if I do say so myself. This one, so I've got these two little cuties for the bottom of the frame. And I've got this hole at the top, so I'm just trying to decide what I've got to cover that. Now this one is quite soft with the butterflies and everything, and to be fair, this bird is quite a soft brown. These ones are a lot darker, so I feel like potentially I may have to go with something a bit different, but I do want to see about these butterflies. I've also got this label. I've also got the word happy, which I absolutely adore that one. I really do. This one I'm not so sure about. I mean, it's nice, but I don't love it as much. But let's just see if we can possibly, I'm just going to try the word happy as well. I mean, I could use these butterflies all day long. This is right up my street. I think the labels work best. I do like it. I loved that one as soon as I put everything down, you know? Have you ever, that sort of feeling that you get where you just go, yes, that's it. I'm not getting the feeling on this one. I think I prefer the bigger butterfly here and the smaller butterfly at the top. It's a little bit less top heavy then. So decision made there. Now do we go with this label or the other one? It's funny how you can get stuck up on just like the tiniest detail, but I think I might go with this one. Not for any reason other than I think it's just a slightly lighter colouring and a little bit less text. So yes, decision made. So I'll get those stuck down. So yeah, I'm hoping that was helpful in some way. I know again my videos at the moment, they're just so scatty because to be honest, I'm just trying to get back into crafting. It's been a while for me. I know you would have seen videos recently, but yeah, it's been about 10 days where I have not done anything. So yeah, my brain is probably not working on, you know, the best gear, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I just wanted to show you those because yeah, I really loved how the large tag for my Shades of Winter journal came out, and I did that, you know, my usual. I was doing 10 o'clock crafting late at night, and I was just putting things together, really, not really with any real thought behind them, and it just turned into this really, really pretty tag. I just thought it looked so lovely. And then, you know, it's one of those projects where it kind of stuck with me, and I wanted to, you know, do it again, but just with, you know, different papers and different embellishments, just to see if it was one of those tags where it was like a one-off or whether it could be replicated in some other kind of a way. And yeah, which way did I have it? This way. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I still think I prefer that first tag I did, but I think these are really pretty. So yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, because you're layering up different things, if you are going to use these to write on, then you do need to use some thick card underneath. Even some packaging, you know, packaging or cereal box or something like that is always quite thick, isn't it? So if you've got something like that, might work best. As I say, I'm using some very, very thick scrap paper as my backing. I can't remember exactly how thick it was, but it's thicker than ordinary scrapbook paper. It's more like cardstock, to be honest. And if I press on the back of that, although you can feel a little bit of bumps, it's really not very much at all. It's not going to get in the way of writing. I don't think so. Just fiddling with my butterflies. So yeah, that is what we have done today. I hope the video wasn't too long. So if I bring them up close, because sometimes you can't see the detail on camera. So if you remember, we've got the wallpaper, we've got a couple of different pieces of organza. One had a sparkliness to it. Fancied up with some fussy cuts. So I used this oval frame that I just had in my stash, but you could use any kind of a shape. I think the ovals or the circles, that kind of a thing, gives you a softer look. So just bear that in mind. And then of course we've added the butterflies and bird, very pretty. And then this one, much the same thing, just different birds. And this one we added that label. Just making sure that my butterflies are, dropping it. Making sure my butterflies were, you know, I didn't want them completely flat. I wanted the, you know, the wings stuck up just a little bit. Not enough that they get in the way, but just enough that they look like they're floating there as opposed to just stuck down. And that's how that one looks. And of course this one has the sort of, this one's a plainer background, this one's got more going on in the background, which probably did affect things a little bit. Not like a huge amount, but just enough that it threw my eyes off a little bit from looking at this one maybe. I'm just adding a little bit of glue to the back of here, just because I thought it was stuck up a little bit too much. But yeah, that is some layered journal cards. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make those. I hope you'll be willing to try something like this out. And yeah, just start layering up some things and see what you get at the end. All right, as always everyone, thanks so much for watching me, and I'll see you on the next video.